Hey, what is up, everybody, and welcome back to NFL Nexus. We are diving headfirst into one of the most fascinating situations in the entire league this offseason. The New York Giants are literally standing at a crossroads. One path could lead them back to glory, the other could set the franchise back for years. With the NFL draft staring them right in the face, they have to make some incredibly tough calls. Are they going to go all in, bet the house on one potential superstar? Are they going to play it smart, play the long game, and build from the ground up? Let's get into it.
All right, so here's our game plan for today. First, we're going to set the stage and get a feel for exactly where the Giants are right now under this new leadership. Then we get to the juicy stuff, the two monster questions hanging over this offseason. What in the world do they do with that number 5 overall pick? And is it maybe time to trade a young star pass rusher? We'll also break down why time is not on their side. This is a real race against the clock. And finally, we're going to put on our GM hats and look at the final high-stakes choice Joe Schoen has to make.
So, to really get what's happening inside the Giants front office right now, you have to understand the pressure they're under. It's kind of like they've been handed the keys to a beautiful, brand new sports car, but it's got no tires and the engine is sputtering, you know? They've got a new coach, a new system, a top 5 pick, all the pieces for a fresh start. But man, they have some serious fundamental holes on this roster that could sink the whole thing before it even leaves the garage. It is a high-wire act, for sure, and there is absolutely no safety net.
And these are the two men in the hot seat. These are the architects of whatever the Giants are about to become, General Manager Joe Schoen and head coach John Harbaugh. This is their first offseason working together, and let me tell you, it is a trial by fire. Every single decision they make, every phone call, every draft pick, it's a brushstroke on the canvas of their new vision for this team. They're not just picking players, they're trying to build a whole new identity, a new culture. And the success of this entire John Harbaugh era really could hinge on the choices they make in the next few weeks. The pressure is immense.
Okay, before we go any deeper, we gotta quickly talk about the lifeblood of any NFL rebuild. It's the currency of the offseason, and it's called draft capital. The best way to think about it is like this. Imagine you're on a shopping spree to build the perfect wardrobe. Your draft capital is your budget. A first-round pick? That's like a black card that gets you into the fanciest, most exclusive designer stores. You can get that one-of-a-kind piece that changes everything. A sixth-round pick? Well, that's more like a gift certificate to a discount store. You might find a hidden gem, sure, but you're going to have to do a lot of digging. And right now, the Giants are trying to build a championship roster on a pretty tight budget.
And man, this slide right here, this is a brutal, cold, hard reality check for Big Blue. Look at this. They are like surgeons who have a patient with multiple critical injuries, but their toolkit is almost empty. They are desperate, and I mean desperate for help on both the offensive and defensive lines, but they have almost no resources to fix it. Only 2 picks in the top 100? That's barely anything. And look at that gaping hole where their third-round pick should be. That's where you find the starters, the core guys, the backbone of a great team. And to pour salt in the wound, they're broke. They have no real money to spend in free agency. It is a really, really tough spot to be in. So this really tough situation leads us directly to the first massive decision of the offseason. And it all revolves around their single most valuable asset, that number 5 overall pick. This one pick, this one choice, could change the entire trajectory of the franchise, but it forces them to choose between 2 totally different ways of building a team. Do you swing for the fences and go for the home run, or do you try to get a few singles and doubles to build an inning? So what's the right move? What's the play here? Do you stand pat and take that one guy you believe can be a generational, game-wrecking superstar, the kind of player who can lift the entire team on his shoulders? Or do you take that valuable pick, trade it for a package of other picks, and use that to patch up the multiple gaping holes in the roster? It's the ultimate NFL debate, quality versus quality. And the path they choose will tell us everything about the kind of team they're trying to build. You can just imagine the arguments going back and forth in the Giants' war room right now. On one shoulder, you have the devil whispering about a blue-chip, can't-miss prospect, a guy like Jeremiah Love or Sonny Styles. These are the players you see on highlight reels, the guys who sell jerseys and win you games by themselves. It's so tempting. But on the other shoulder, you have the angel of practicality. It's saying, hey, if we trade down just a few spots, we could get that third-round pick we so desperately need and still get a fantastic offensive lineman to protect our quarterback, Jackson Dart. It's a true battle between your head and your heart. And just when you think the choice couldn't get any tougher, Coach Harbaugh goes and says this. Now, you have to understand, in the NFL, head coaches are masters of coach speak. They almost never give you a straight answer. So when a guy like John Harbaugh publicly says a prospect is a very, very good player, you better believe he means it. That's not just some throwaway comment. That's a huge tell. It shows the Giants are absolutely in love with some of the elite talent at the top of this draft, which makes the idea of passing on them, man, that's got to be a painful thought. But wait, because the Giants' offseason puzzle is way more complicated than just one draft pick. They have another really valuable piece on the chessboard, and this one is already on the roster. It's a different kind of problem, sure, but the answer could have an equally massive impact on their future. Okay, this is where things get really, really messy and interesting. Remember Kayvon Thibodeaux? Not too long ago, he was a top 5 pick himself, hailed as the next great Giants pass rusher, but now, as he's about to enter the final year of his rookie contract, the team has a huge decision to make. Do you commit to the guy you once thought was a cornerstone, or do you cash in your chips while his value is high and pivot towards a new plan? The argument for keeping him is simple, right? The guy is a beast. Just picture this for a second. A pass rush rotation of Brian Burns on one side, Abdul Carter on the other, and Kayvon Thibodeaux coming in to create chaos. That's a three-headed monster. It's the kind of pass rush that gives opposing coaches nightmares for weeks. But then you have the business side of the NFL. With Burns and Carter looking like the long-term duo, trading Thibodeaux could be the only realistic way for them to get back that precious third-round pick they need. It's a classic conflict. A dominant force right now versus flexibility and resources for the future. Let's just focus on one number for a second, 23.5. That's how many sacks Kayvon Thibodeaux has racked up in his first 53 games in the league. For perspective, that is serious production. In the NFL, pass rushers who can get to the quarterback like that are worth their weight in gold. That number, 23.5, is why other GMs are going to be calling Joe Schoen. For a team that's maybe just one piece away from being a contender, Thibodeaux is an incredibly attractive trade target. So you're probably thinking, okay, these are huge decisions. Why do they have to make them right now? And the reason is simple. The Giants are in a desperate race against an opponent that has never, ever lost. And that opponent is the clock. With a brand new coach installing a brand new system, every single day, every single minute is absolutely precious. This timeline, it looks less like a calendar and more like a treadmill that's stuck on the highest setting. Yeah, the Giants get a little bit of a head start because of the new coach, but once it gets going, it is a flat-out, non-stop sprint to week 1. The draft is the big showpiece, of course, but that's just the starting gun. From that moment on, it is a whirlwind of minicamps, workouts, OTAs, all with new players trying to learn a new language, a new system on the fly. It is no joke, like trying to assemble an airplane while it's already taxiing down the runway. And here's the bottom line, the absolute truth of their situation. For a team that is essentially starting from zero, every single practice rep is like finding gold. These players aren't just learning a new playbook, they are learning a whole new philosophy, a new way of doing everything. Think of it like a world-class orchestra. You've got a new conductor, a bunch of new musicians who've never played together, and a new piece of music. The sooner you can get them all in the same room, practicing together, the faster they'll be able to create something beautiful. Every lost day is a major setback. So it all comes down to this. After all the hours of watching film, all the scouting reports, all the phone calls and sleepless nights, the weight of the franchise falls on the shoulders of one man, General Manager Joe Schoen. And the path he chooses isn't just a roster decision, it's a declaration of who the New York Giants are going to be for the foreseeable future. When you really boil it all down, the dilemma over the 5th pick and the decision about Kayvon Thibodeaux, they aren't really two separate issues, are they? They're just two different doors that lead to the same room. And in that room is the fundamental question of team building. It's the age-old story of the tortoise and the hare. Do you try to win the race in one flashy, superstar-fueled sprint? Or do you take the slow, steady, methodical approach and build a solid foundation that's designed to last for a decade? And that's what makes this so captivating. There's no single right answer here. It's a high-stakes game of Texas Hold'em, and the Giants are about to push all their chips into the middle of the table. The decision they make is going to define this John Harbaugh era. So now, I'm turning it over to you. Put yourself in the GM's chair. You've got the entire city of New York watching your every move. What do you do? Do you roll the dice on a generational star, or do you play the odds and collect more picks to build a solid foundation? Let me know what you would do down in the comments below. And hey, if you had a good time breaking all this down with me, do me a huge favor and hit that subscribe button. And make sure you ring the notification bell so you never miss what we've got coming up here on NFL Nexus. We also want to give a huge thank you to our sponsors for making explainers like this possible. If you want to support them for supporting us, please check out the links we've got for you in the description. And if you want to support the channel directly, you can. We've got a brand new line of merchandise in our online store. We've got shirts, hoodies, hats, you name it. And listen, we even have our very own coloring books. They are perfect for kids, grandkids, or, hey, even for adults who just want to relax. You can find all of that through the link in the description, or just scan the QR code that you see on the screen right now. Every little bit helps us keep making content for you guys. For those of you who want to take it a step further, we do have a Patreon page. That's where you can get exclusive content, behind-the-scenes access, and more. We are so grateful for all of your support. Thanks again for hanging out. We'll see you next time on NFL Nexus.